I'm in danger.
I think I deserve the opportunity to defend myself here. I turned 30 recently, and obviously turning 30 is an utter and complete travesty, and the way that I decided to cope with the fact that I am getting old was to buy over 1,000 old romance books off a lady on Marketplace. Is that a good enough excuse? So I'm going to go through all of the titles here. If you just want to skip to me actually listing the books, I'll put a timestamp down below. If you actually feel invested in this utter trash, then you can continue listening because I'm going to give you a little backstory as to how this happened. So I'm actually working on videos behind the scenes. I've been working on these for like over a year now, but I want to read a book from Harlequin for every year since they started publishing, which was 1949. So I have been on the hunt for old romance books from Harlequin, or books that Harlequin publish, regardless of whether it's the Harlequin edition, because they are really hard to get a hand of in Australia without spending a lot of money. And I work in aged care, so I don't earn a lot of money. So I reached out to this lady who had a listing on Marketplace with lots of old books, and I was like, hey, I want to like grab some of these. And I listed off some authors I was interested in. Pretty quickly she made it clear that she had zero interest in going through these books. They were her late mother-in-law's collection, and I got the impression that she just wanted to get rid of them. Anyway, I was sort of like, okay, well, if you ever feel up to going through them and sending me pictures, let me know. 14 months later or something, she messaged me and she was like, hey, I'm going to be in Queensland. Did you still want these books? And I'm like, I don't live in Queensland. I wish I lived in Queensland, but look at me, I'm not cool enough to live in Queensland. I was like, oh, thanks, but I live in Tasmania, which I had told her. So it's like, okay. But then she's like, I'm going to be in Tasmania in February. And my little ears perked up. I was like, oh. She's like, I'm coming down on the boat with my car. I could fill it with all these books if you wanted to buy them off me. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, did you end up going through them? Because I'm like, I don't want to buy all of these books. I don't need or want all of these books. But she was like, oh, I'd just sell you all of them. And I was like, okay. How much for? She said 200. I was like, okay, how many books are there? And she said hundreds, I would say over 1,000. My first instinct was no, and I sort of told her, oh, I'll think about it. But I was sort of like, my looming 30s were approaching, because what, she messaged me in November and I turned 30 in late January. But yeah, in my crippling anxiety and misery of turning 30, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something stupid, because I guess I can focus on how dumb that is rather than the fact that I'm getting older. And I don't know what I'm doing with my life, and every day I feel closer and closer to death and feel that I haven't achieved anything, and I will die feeling like I never did anything with the time I have here on earth. And I keep thinking there are people less fortunate than me that would be doing so much more with the opportunities and privilege that I have, and yet I'm here squandering everything, and I'm gonna die miserable. So instead of thinking about that, I was like, let's buy over 1,000 old romance books. I do want to thank my lovely mother, sister, and my friend Ren, who all gave me money for my birthday, which contributed to this. And so I actually didn't pay a cent. What I really could do is scrap everything I just said and blame those people and be like, it's their fault. They gave me the money to do this, so blame them. So some of these will be good for the video, but majority of these I have no use for. I'm probably never going to read them, and I'm probably going to get rid of like half of these. And you're like, only half, so you're going to keep like 500 old romance books? I am a hoarder, so I kind of just want to keep all of them, but I won't, because that's ridiculous. It's weird. I'm a hoarder, but I also have anxiety about hoarding, so it's like, I want these, but then the fact I have them makes me very stressed, but I want them. It feels like I hate myself, and I just make sure that no matter how I live, it's in a way that will make me miserable. But anyway, shall we go through these books? So I've sorted them all into categories of the different publishers and then like subcategories. I have learned in this that particularly Neels and Boon, the way that they number and categorize all their books and series and sub-series and subcategories is very confusing. There's not much information online. I have done my best. I was going to put them all into like numerical order of when they were published as well, but I have bad posture and my back was dying, so I stopped doing that. I won't be saying the author because that'll take like double the time and this is probably already going to be very boring and long. I'm going to try and make it interesting, but I can't guarantee it's going to be interesting. Like I could get a tit out or something to make it more interesting. Okay, let's get to the books. Alright, first up we're going to go through the Harlequin Intimate Encounter. I believe that the first book Harlequin published that had both characters of colour was a Intimate Encounter by Sandra Pitt. And I was really looking for that. I was really hoping to find that because that's what I'm going to be reading. And it's not here. And basically there is one book in this collection that has two people of colour on the cover. Yes, of all these books there's one. I honestly wasn't really expecting better from this person's deceased mother-in-law, but I still feel disappointed. So we've got A Tiny Flaw, Sweet Anticipation, and On Wings of Love. It's 3 down, like over 1,000 to go. Then we've got the Harlequin Temptations. So these are kind of like subcategories that Harlequin started publishing when they stopped being prudes. So basically Harlequin was made by this man that I'm pretty certain has ADHD. I'll talk all about the history in my video when it eventually comes out. He basically started and did a lot of things and then never carried on with them. And so his wife and daughter actually ended up kind of becoming the people that maintained Harlequin, and they were the ones that kind of pushed for romance books. They saw that they were what sold the best and they enjoyed reading them, but they were prudes, and so it was like, we can't have any sexual content in our books. They saw how successful the more steamy books were from other publishers. So this is sort of when they were jumping into sex. I believe that the mother and daughter may have passed or stopped being in charge at this point. I honestly don't remember. Watch that video to find out. So we've got Devil's Child, For Now, For Always, The Family Way, which we've got quite a bit of leg and a bit of side bum. And I like this cover because there's a dog. Wait, no, it's a cat. No, there's a dog and a cat. There's chickens and horses. There's also a kid in the background as 2 people are about to hook up, which weirdly enough happens on a lot of these covers. I'm not really sure why. But anyway, the best things in life are obviously chickens and dogs and cats and horses. We've now got some books by Lucy Walker, who I don't really know anything about. These books are a little bit musty. Okay, I cleaned all of these books with anti-bacteria, whatever it is, wipes. Honestly, the condition of these books, considering how old some of them are, is insane. This woman clearly loved and looked after these books. It's really like nice to like have this lady's collection. Anyway, they're from Tana. So we've got A Man Called Masters, The Call of Pines. I did a like beginner course in graphic design, and I will say that this typeface is horrendous. I can barely read the title of this book, and I mean, no one's really here for the title. They see 2 people about to make out and they pick it up, but still. The Strangers from the North, Gamma's Girl, The Other Girl, Reaching for the Stars, Love in a Cloud, 6 for Heaven. Fuck it, let's do Essie Summers next. I don't think this author appears in like any of the other books, weirdly enough. She probably does. I feel like she's only in these books, which are like special editions, which I think are collections of just her books. Mother-in-law also liked these. I feel like I should stop calling her the mother-in-law. Should we give her a name? She feels like a Patricia. Place Called Paradise. These covers are lame. Like, what is this? Also, some of these books have stuff on them, and I don't know if she did it or the people she bought them off did it, but I think it's charming, and you'll see that some of the books have like the characters' names written on them, or like the books in this series, which I think is delightful. Sweet Other Ways, South to Forget, I can't read, The Forbidden Valley, and A Place Called Paradise. Then we've got these ones which are actually cute. These are nicer editions. So we've got Anna of Drathaland. Oh, also you can see the like writing on the covers. I can't really read much of this. Again, I don't know if this is Patricia or like whoever she bought them off, whose name was probably like Sheila or something. We've got Not by Appointment, Beyond the Foothills, Goblin Hill, which interests me. Like, why is this called Goblin Hill? Is it a goblin romance? Is Essie Summers the OG monster romance writer? We'll find out. Probably not. I'm probably never going to read that. Adair of Starlight Peaks, Spring in September. Okay, this is like a random book that was in here. There were quite a few random things in the bottom of some of the boxes, which makes me want to find something that I did find, which is probably the thing that is worth the most in this entire collection. 4 great stories from Women Weekly Fiction series, which I'd like to include these maybe in some of those videos, or do some videos of women's weekly fiction. I just love the idea of reading these books which were made fun of and we make fun of today, but were so beloved by women at the time. And I don't know, it's just like exploring women of the past. Again, pretty much in most cases privileged white women, which is what I am essentially. I'm a shit one, but I am one. I know there's something endearing about learning about white privileged women. I don't know. Where is this thing that was at the bottom of the box? Oh. Okay, we're just gonna take a detour because I have ADHD. So this was at the bottom of one of the boxes, and it's like the thing probably worth the most here. I think it's like worth like $15, which score. And I just can't believe that that man cheated on this. This is why I hate men. I also have a book about golf and a book about the very best money saving of helpful hints. So I wonder how relevant this is still. I got another book about golf. I haven't cleaned these, so these are gross. I don't know why I'm touching them, but it's a bedside golf. So do we want a video of me reading bedside golf? Yeah, these are at the bottom of some of the boxes. She had not even like looked through them. There were some photos and I admit that I wasn't going to look at them, but then I did and I was trying to pick out Patricia. I was like, which is the lady that owns these? And I couldn't tell. There were a lot of generic looking middle-aged white women in those photos. So I think in spirit, they all embodied Patricia. Okay, let's get back to the books. Okay, then we've got these Harlequin Library editions. I'm not sure what these are. I haven't come across these in my research. The covers suck though. They're just like actual photos and they're cringe. But anyway, the Spanish Grandee, Dark Pursuer. I like this cover though. This is like cute. Return to Tuckarimba, The Gentle Tyrant. This cover is especially heinous. Like, who okayed this? Okay, so when I'm holding up the book covers, then they're blurry. I'm like, okay, I'll find pictures online to just put next to it so you can actually see what it looks like. But I can't find this anywhere, so I guess I'm the first person documenting this online. So I guess that's like my claim to fame and the one thing in life that is meaningful that I'm achieving. But why is he doing that? Stop. Dreamtime at Big Sky, Enchantment in Blue. She's not even wearing blue. Oh, he's wearing a blue tie. Maybe it's about him. Maybe he's the enchantment in blue. He kind of looks like Joe Jonas, who is on my shirt. There's also a book in here where the guy looks like Josh Hutcherson, and we need to make sure that I point that out. It's very important. Manuka Fire, High Country Wife. There's a horse. There's two horses. Rose of Silver Ridge, Alpen Rose. Also, I don't think we've got 20 yet, but when I was going through all the books, I was sending pictures to Patreons, and I just sent a bunch that were like collectively contributing to this like subcategory of covers, which is just women that want these men to get the fuck away from them. There's so many books where I'm like, was this actually like a secret code or something? Or like, was this something that was secret for women to pick up on because men wouldn't pick up on this? But was it actually like these women hate these men and these are actually like feminist books secretly about women like being independent and having nothing to do with the men? The conspiracy theories were going wild, probably because I was cleaning over 1,000 of these in like a few days. I'm still recovering. Then we've got some here that I just didn't know where to put these because I wasn't really sure where these go. Doctor Nurse Romance and Medical Romance. They probably go in a different category, but I don't know, they look different. We've got Yesterday's Love, A Case for Special Care, Territory Nurse, which I love that it's like part 1 and part 2 written on these. Amsterdam Encounter, which we've got our first like really pretty lady. Look how pretty she is. Doctor Nurse like medical romances were huge and were kind of the first like subgenre of romance books that Harlequin focused on because they were just huge. That's what she said. You're 30, you're not 13. Then we've got these, which I'll definitely be getting rid of because they're large prints. So I would like to donate these. So we've got An Unlikely Romance, which is a Betty Neels, which I believe will be the author that I have the most books from in this collection. I do think that Patricia did have the hots for Betty Neels. But who doesn't? Look at her. I actually have no idea what she looks like, but she eats. And then we've got A Happy Meeting, which is also Betty Neels. So I got 3 little boxes. DeWilde, which I think is like a wedding company. Weddings by DeWilde, like little series that they did. We love people with money being able to get opportunities to make more money. Shattered Vows, The Reluctant Bride, Dressed to Thrill, Wild Heart, which I think this is very funny. The first 3 are set in London, San Francisco, and New York, which are obviously like cities. But then this one's just Australia. Like, Australia doesn't have cities. Australia is just Australia. I just thought that was funny. A Bride for Daddy. To Love a Thief. A Stranger's Baby. That sounds amazing. I can't wait to read that. Terms of Surrender. Family Secrets. Wild Man. Wait, I just realized. Because I was like, why is wild written like that? It's because it's like the wild. DeWilde is spelt with the D at the end. So that's why these two have the D at the end of Wild. Okay. Romancing the Stone. I Do Again. And then there's 2 Mother's Day collections, which the hoarder in me is like, why would you get rid of these? But maybe the husband has passed away and then she has no sentimental attachment to these, I guess. But I don't know. I sort of felt sad like receiving these. Ryan's Rules. The Perfect Man. Do we think that he's the perfect man? Like, what would we rate him out of 10 of perfection? A Lesson in Seduction. And Maddie's Love Child. Holding to Alex. Kissed by a Stranger. A Forbidden Desire. And Red Hot and Reckless. I don't know if these were only published for these collections. I will have to look into it. I didn't really need to put these back in the box. I'm gonna do these ones, and then we've got like the bigger stacks. Well, that's a lie. There's one small stack there, but then we've got the bigger stacks. Oh, there's another one there too. You know what? Fuck me. Then we have these two Loveswept ones, which I don't know much about Loveswept. It's a Bantam Books imprint, and Bantam Books was kind of one of the rivals of Harlequin at the beginning. One of the people that co-created Harlequin worked at Bantam Books at the time, so that was kind of who they were really inspired by, and they were kind of doing the same sort of republishing cheap paperback kind of thing. It's interesting that Bantam actually ended up making an imprint that was similar to what Harlequin did. So we've got A Reluctant Lark, Bronze, no, not A, the Bronzed Hawk. So these are two like special editions, I think. They must have had a collection for Iris Johansson. And then we've got these four that are Silhouette, which Silhouette is the American version of Harlequin. And Silhouette was actually originally created because the women who were basically running Harlequin, who didn't like steamy stuff, felt that American authors all wrote smart, basically. And they were like, we don't want any of that gross American stuff. And so none of the American authors were getting published by Harlequin, and so America just made their own version, which was Silhouette Books, and eventually Harlequin did go on to buy Silhouette Books and Mills and Boon, and then one of the big companies ended up going on to buy Harlequin. So I do have quite a few silhouettes as well, which is good because I do want them for the videos as well. I really want to read and compare to see if we can see any difference in the books. These four that are kind of in a different edition, I don't know if they're like a special sub-series, but I kept these four separate because they are different. So we've got Cupid's Error, Woman Hater, I can't wait to read that, Taking Savannah, and A Night of Passion. So we're going to be going into the Betty Neels section. So she has these Betty Neels collections, which come with 2 books in each, but there's also this Charlotte Lamb one. This has Manhunt and Seductive Stranger. Then we've got the Betty Neels ones. So she had 3 of these. So we've got A Suitable Match and The Most Marvelous Summer, The Girl with Green Eyes and Paradise for 2, The Fateful Bargain, and No Need to Say Goodbye. We've got these Betty Neels books, and I don't believe these are like special Betty Neels editions because I do have a book in this edition already from a different author. So we've got Damsel in Green, Match for Sister Maggie, Fate is Remarkable, Visiting Consultant, Wish with the Candles, The Gemel Ring, Captive Heart, Victory for Victoria, and The Magic of Living. Oh my gosh. Oh. They fell. I had them in numerical order too, even though it didn't really matter and you wouldn't know. Just know that I did put the effort of putting these like 30 books in numerical order. Big task. So these are a special sub-series of books that they did, which were just Betty Neels. Probably will keep these. These are actually in lovely condition, which is nice. Pineapple Girl, which I love the title of this. I want to read this purely because I'm like, why is this called Pineapple Girl? And why is that a mood? The Hasty Marriage, Fate is Remarkable, Stars Through the Mist, The Promise of Happiness, Henrietta's Own Castle, A Gem of a Girl About Me, The Moon for Lavina, Sun and Candlelight, Midnight Sun's Magic, Hannah. Betty Neels was like, I've written like over 100 books at this point. I don't give a shit about what I call them. Maybe that's why that one's Pineapple Girl. A Girl to Love, A Dream Came True. Very original titles here. A Matter of Chance, All Else Confusion, Never Say Goodbye, Wish with the Candles, 3 for a Wedding, Winter Wedding, The Silver Thaw, The End of the Rainbow. That sounds ominous. It's probably not. Midsummer Star. I like this cover. This one's cute. Heaven is Gentle, A Star Looks Down, Esmeralda, Judith, Tabitha in Moonlight, Small Slice of Summer, Tulips for Augusta. Look at him. Never been that happy in my life. Philomena's Miracle, Sister Peter's in Amsterdam, Tempestuous April, Britannia All at Sea, Enchanting Samantha. She looks like she hates him. Polly. I'd love if like no one in this book was called Polly. Last April Fair, Tangled Autumn, When May Follows. It's gonna be May. Look at me pretending I have important messages on my phone. I'm just like, someone take me away from the pain that I'm currently enduring. Okay. Oh my god, I managed to do this one. So this is another one of those collector's collections, but this author is Penny Jordan, who also appears a lot, but not as much as Betty Neels. And I have been able to keep these in order, so we're going to go through them in order. Also, these covers suck. Almost as bad as these Essie Summer covers. Like, at least they did try. And like, I mean, these pictures are cute, but like, I want people making out on my cover. I want shirtless men. So we've got You Owe Me. You know what you owe me? a shirtless man. Lover's Touch, Falcon's Prey, Desire for Revenge, Special Treatment. This is what Penny Jordan and Betty Neels received from Mills and Boon. A Savage Adoration, Response, A Reason for Marriage, A Forbidden Loving, Payment Due, Second Best Husband. Imagine if like this was dedicated to her husband. It's not. There's no dedication at all. Unspoken Desire, Taken Over, Yesterday's Echoes, So Close and No Closer, Lesson to Learn, I have learned my lesson to never do this ever again in my life, Passionate Possession, Fight for Love, A Kind of Madness, Free Spirit. When I was a kid, I had a track pants set. So it was like the track pant, jacket and pants that matched, and they were brown and blue, and on the bottom it said Free Spirit. Blackmail. Some of these titles are very romantic. Unwanted Marriage. Can I make this shit up? Oh my god. Stranger from the Past. Alright, on to the next stack. Oh god. Okay, so these are just Mills and Boon romance. I don't know. This series edition's titled, it just says romance. So I've just categorized them as Mills and Boon romance. Oh my gosh. It's a picture of a rose. I opened this and just saw that and I thought there was a spider and I just pooped my pants. So we've got Dark Betrayal, which we're now getting into the books with like fun covers. Like, look how pretty she is. Look at her pretty hair and back. She's so pretty. Wednesday's Child. She looks like Selena Gomez. Return to Wallaby Creek. This one, unfortunately, is a bit gross and I could not save her, which is sad because it has the word wallaby in the title and I like animals. Hunter's Snare, Flame Tree, Return to Arcady, sorry, what are words. This is a nice cover though. Look at her. Sweet Pretense, Woman of Honor. Oh, I really like this one, Ice Princess. So this is one of my favorite covers. I think she's absolutely beautiful. She's very pretty. Look at me like flicking my hair pretending I'm also very pretty. Heart of the Hawk, Miss Mary's Devil. This is their conversation. So the girl goes up to him and she's like, oh, I like your hair. And he's like, thanks, I washed it in mustard. Captive of Fate. Look at her hair. You go, you be hot. Some Say Love. Now I'm thinking about that opening scene of Napoleon Dynamite where he's like, what about the scene in Napoleon Dynamite? They mix raw egg. There's people drinking raw egg from a glass. Ew. An Irresistible Force, Sympathetic Strangers, Rider of the Hills, Touch Not My Heart, So Near, So Far, Man of Iron. Look at him. Look at that man of iron. He's like got a whip and he's looking at her menacingly and she's looking around like, what is about to happen to me? Like, how is this a romance book? But also those like cookies or scones or whatever it is, they look yummy. Got a little flowers and tea set and her nails, and women are so pretty. Like, look at that. Look how pretty and dainty she is. Why can't I be like that? I just sit around and swear and fart and make poo jokes. Finding Out, A Girl Named Rose. Now I just think of Doctor Who where he always calls out Rose. A Girl Named Rose. The Course of True Love. Save My Soul from Sin. I like that she's wearing like a cute pink dress and like the book's pink. It's cute. She's got like a little pink lipstick. I would marry her. Bluebells on the Hill. This cover has been murdered. Some of these covers had like Tipex on them or something. It was really weird and I felt really ill cleaning them. Also, some of them had like old rubber bands, which also made me feel ill. No Other Love. Separate Lives. This has kittens. Look, The Secret Pool. When I look at this, I just know that he just made a really bad joke and she feels like she has to laugh. Carlisle Pride. So when I was like, I don't know, like early 20s, I was still a complete loser and I bought this like Twilight board game for like $2 from an op shop and I thought it was hilarious, especially because all I've watched is the first two movies years ago. I've never read the books and it was like a trivia board game. I played it so many times with this friend of mine who also doesn't really know/like Twilight. There's a character called Carlisle, but we read it as Carlisle. We were reading out trivia questions and it was like Carlisle. We played it once with someone that has watched it and they were like, why are you saying Carlisle? It's Carlisle. I've basically never recovered since. Escape from the Harem, which is interesting, but look at her hair. And then we have Song of Iran, which is just another chance for me to say thank you so much, Ran. Love you. And please go subscribe to Ran. They actually have a good channel unlike me. This book is dedicated to you.
And then my pride and joy. Tentacles.
At the End of the Day, Game of Hazard, A Will to Love. There's a cow. Oh, there's two cows and a horse. And there's a man on the horse. Is he watching them hook up? Is that why she looks startled and like she doesn't want to be there? Or is it just because she hates that man? Magic in Vienna. Secret Lover. McBride of Roach. When two paths meet. Doggos! Look at this happy doggo. Winter in July. This is a pretty cover. I'd get this tattooed on my butt. Stormy Springtime. Another get this man away from me. It's just started raining and I've got clothes out on the washing line. This is how my 30s are going. High Country Governess. Never the Time and the Place. Dark Dream. Look at this one. It has a peacock. The Doubtful Marriage. There's pineapples. Maybe this is like the prologue to Pineapple Girl. Is that Pineapple Girl? Maybe this is Pineapple Girl. Oh, I was so close that time. Edge of Spring, First Love, Last Love, The Arranged Marriage, Chance Meeting. Oh, I didn't say what these are. So these are similar to the last one, but they have like bestseller romance written on them. They're bestsellers or something. Well, probably goes without saying since it says bestseller romance. Pagan Encounter, Only Lover, The Thawing of Mara, The Vines of Splendor, Flame of Diablo, Captive Destiny, For Bitter or Worse, Sweet Torment, Once for All Time, Savage Love, Lion of Venice, Dark Dominion, Tidewater Lover, The Willing Heart, Beneath Wimera Skies, Deceit of a Pagan. Look how cute she is. That guy looks like that guy. He looks like that actor that has a really interesting face. I know that makes it sound like I think he's ugly as shit, but I don't. He's like pretty as fuck, that guy. Proud Harvest, Summer Mahogany, The Winds of Winter, the OG original Winds of Winter. Next time anyone's like, when are we gonna get The Winds of Winter? I'll be like, it's already out. Frustration. Ring of Fire. Set the Stars on Fire. Oh, this book doesn't have fire in it. Devil in Command. I like these covers where there's just like random little drawings. It's like he's got a little dude just like sitting on his shoulder, like playing, what is that, like a lute? The Long Surrender. Wake the Sleeping Tiger. If you wake it, it's probably going to maul you to death, so probably don't do that. Stormy Possession. So that's all in that category. And now we have another category of classics, bestsellers of Mills and Boon. But these ones are older. Oh, you can actually see them. Here they are. Oh, I forgot this one. Bright Pool Possession. Oh god. This is not... Oh. Who let me exist in the first place? Mother, you have a lot of answering to do. How about I just move? There's a lot of these. Let's rapid fire. The Time is Short. The Taming of Laura. The Towers of Wind. Wings of Night. The Golden Rose. Valley of Paradise. Whispering Palms. Prelude to Enchantment. A Time of the Jacaranda. Jacaranda. Such a good word. Stars of Spring. I love her. She knows she's hot. The House of Strange Music. Is it just like someone farting to the tune of like Madonna or something? Eternal Summer. Take What You Want. The Trees of Idleness. Heart in the Sunlight. Dark Moonless Nights. The Viking Stranger. She really wants nothing to do with him. Like, you can't even convince me that this is going to be a romance. Come Running. Till the End of Time. Precious Waif. Hawk in a Blue Sky. Lauren's Baby. We haven't really got to the era where there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of books that involve like babies and children. The Girl at Dane's Dyke. The Sun Tower. South of Mandrake. What is going on in this cover? Is this like some Greek god or something just looking down at them in disappointment? This unfortunately is very stained, and I probably will get rid of it because I feel like I'm gonna get ill just holding this book. Moon Witch. Island of Pearls. Hotel Murata? No, oh my god. I have 2 copies of this. I feel like I just won the lottery, oh my god. Does anyone want one? No Quarter Asked. The Arrogance of Love. The Garden of Dreams. Fire and Ice. Another like Game of Thrones-esque book. Oh, there's 2 of this one. Look. Another set, but this one's not as exciting. The Kisses and the Wine. The House of Adriano. She's cool. I like her. She's a vibe. A Kiss from Satan. Lord of La Pampa. It's another horse. It's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. The Sin of Sinara. White Rose of Winter. Riley's Woman. I would love to be referred to as a man's woman. Alien Corn. I don't know what Rachel Lindsay is meaning by this title, but I think we all read it as alien porn. The Night of the Bulls. There's no bulls on the cover though, but there's horses. Look, horses. The Warm Wind of Farrick. Does that mean he farted? Devil's Mount. I don't know if they're doing this on purpose. Visit to Rowanbank. After the Storm. Noonfire. This is a cool cover. I also like this one. Love's Prisoner. Cupboard Love. One of the Boys. She's not like other girls. The Japanese Screen. Fair in Venice. 6 White Horses. Born Out of Love. Savage Land. Dark Venetian. Hunter of the East. Moonlight and Magic. That felt like a very aggressive throw. Like I had some beef with that book. The Garden of Dreams. I feel like this has come up. Yeah, it's here. So we got quite a few duplicates. Gates of Steel, Fiesta San Antonio, The Son of Summer, A Trial of Marriage, A Man of Affairs, The Matchmakers. I thought I'd finish, but there's still more. These are very thin editions, so there's like a lot of books here, but it doesn't look like a lot. The Legend of Lexandros, Devil in Velvet, Dearest Demon, The Devil's Darling, The Whispering Grove. Hey, we've already had this one, right? Eternal Summer, Dark Castle, Master of Commerce. Look at the guy behind her. Look at him. Look at him. Creep. Like just a man standing there and I'm like, creep. Forbidden Rapture. Is that Paradise or is it still Paradise? I'm really hungry. Logan's Island, Country of the Vine, Quiet Holiday, The Arrogant Duke. The as if there's only one arrogant duke. Alright, we're now up to this. Oh, fuck. This stack. Okay, so we have a lot of silhouette. So these are silhouette Intrigue. So we've got like silhouette books and then silhouette special editions, which look a bit different. So we've got Something Borrowed, Something Blue, Full Moon Rising, which like that does not look like a comfortable way to stand. The Kid Who Stole Christmas. So yeah, we're getting into the weird child territory and it's like, why is that kid so excited to see two people making out? And why is that panda there? Ugh. So yeah, now we're just going to go through these. These are all, I think, special edition. And this also brings us into series territory. I actually love figuring out what books connect to what in these like crazy series because some books are part of multiple series. Some of them will have these little like pictures for silhouette, which is like the series. And then there's some which like the Mills and Boon editions do this where it just says what the series is. So this biggest stack beside me is the series. So I've put all the series together. So these ones I didn't have any other books in the series, so I've just kept them separate. Hero's Child. And then we've got some books which have multiple books in one. So it's That First Special Kiss and A Family Secret, Her Very Own Family, and Just the Three of Us. So again, we're really getting into the whole like family books. Like I feel like the older ones are much more just like romance, more about like passion and longing, and then we get into the more like family love, people having kids. But I guess that's probably what a lot of the women reading these enjoyed. I mean, a lot of them were probably young when those first ones came out and then they got older and this was what their lives were and that's what they were interested in. A Ranch for Sarah, Marriage Material, Marry Me in Amarillo, Valentine's Child, The Mother of His Son, That Wild Stallion, it's a horse, Buchanan's Return. Oh, okay, this is the first of the That's My Baby. Sometimes there's books that don't seem to actually be in the same series. Like it's not like this is in the same world or the same characters or by the same authors or set in the same universe, but they've got this on them and it's online. I can see that it's like a series. So I'm wondering if this was like a category that they had. Nobody's Baby, His Daughter's Laughter, Alyssa's Miracle, A Cowboy's Tears, and Husband Bought and Paid For. Both of those sound fucking terrible. Valentine Baby and The Rancher Meets His Match. It's just a baby on the cover. Like, how is this a romance book? Like, what? Nothing short of a miracle. Tenderly, there's a horse, and Daddy's Home. Celebrate the Child and Designated Daddy. So these are more of the silhouette special editions. For whatever reason, the covers look different. Finally a Bride, High Country Cowboy, A Baby for Rebecca, Jack Riker's back in town. Oh my god, no one told me. A Family for Ronnie. There's a dog. Look how cute that dog is. No Less Than a Lifetime, One Big Happy Family, Buchanan's Bride, Marriage Minded, another one with just kid watching with glee as two people are about to make out. I really don't get those covers. It's like, what child is like, yay, my mum's making out with someone? Like, no. Sisters, Live in Mum, The Husband. Look, there's a horse. This book has the worst title. Like, this book, I can't believe this book exists. Thank Heaven for Little Girls. Logan's Bride. So many of these books are like, win a car. Do you think if I entered now I'd win the car? Of Texas Ladies, Cowboys, and Babies. A Lawman for Kelly. This lady's hot. She gets it. Buchanan's Baby, Full-Time Father. These are the Silhouette Desire, The Mother of My Child. I don't know what is the title of this book and what's the author's name. Oh wait, Tennessee Waltz. Why did I think Tennessee Waltz was the person's name? This is the first, I think, Man of the Month. I cannot believe how dirty they did him. Like, do they not know that this is the Man of the Month? How dare they draw on his face? Black Creek Ranch. Look at her. Queen. The women on these covers could be doing nothing and I'd be like queen, and the men are just standing there and I'm like creep. The Harder They Fall, Showdown, Peachy's Proposal. Look at him, he looks like he wants to eat her neck. Is he a vampire? Is it Carlisle? Father of the Brood, Wolf Waiting, Montana Christmas. Do we think that he's worthy of being a man of the month? Double Trouble. Another man of the month. He gets marriage. Look at him, he knows he's the man of the month. Look at him, he's like, yeah, bitches. Why is he pulling that face while he's opening like the engagement ring? Are we okay here? Then we've got some more. These ones are pink. I don't know why, it doesn't say anywhere online, but they're pink. Do You Take This Child? Mom in the Making, Riley's Bride, Long Lost Husband, Shane's Bride, Christmas Night, Big Sky Billionaire. This one's like really different from the others. I don't know why, but it says the world's most eligible bachelors. So get about it, guys. And there's this one, which is a different color from anything else, and I'm not sure again why. It says it's part of a saga, the Calhoun. Oh my god. This is a Nora Roberts, which is this the first Nora Roberts? Nora Roberts does appear in here quite a bit. I was really hoping to get the silhouette edition of Nora Roberts' debut book, Irish Thoroughbred, but unfortunately it's not in here, which made it kind of feel a bit anticlimactic because everyone was like, did you get anything good? And it's like, no. Then we got some more Desire. I don't really know why these were separate. A Knight in Rusty Armor. Another Man's Baby. Lone Star Kind of Man. The Bodyguard and the Bridesmaid. The Troublemaker Bride. Then we've got some more pink ones. So After the Loving. The Next Man in Taxis. Oh my god. I really am sad that I only have one book in this series. Boots and Booties. Like, I know that they're talking about kids' booties, but I just think of butts. So it's like Boots and Booties. Mummy for the Moment. Groom on the Loose. The Bachelor and the Bassinet. Like, why? Why are we doing this? I've got another copy of Mummy for the Moment. I'm so lucky. Christmas in July. Horses. Won't You Be My Husband? An Accidental Marriage. These are silhouette intrigues. So we've got His Secret Son and A Stranger's Wife. Bulletproof Heart. Spencer's Secret. Then we've got these, which I don't know what these are, but they're called Jasmine. Also, this was on top of one of the boxes and I got really excited because I thought it was like two chicks. Tears of the Shaman, The Return of Eden McCall, Where There's Smoke. So then we've got these, which are intimate moments. So we've got The Tough Guy and the Toddler, A Heartbreak Ranch, Home is Where the Cowboy Is. I don't agree with that. And A Forever Kind of Cowboy. Okay, so I've just had a break. I went and played some Planet Zoo. My peafowls got inbred. Okay, so this next stack is, as I said, the original silhouettes that it came out with these like purple borders. Sweet Surrender. This one with like the cover ripped. It's meant to be Midnight Wine. Veil of Gold. Baby Blessed. Dream Once More. Oh my. Chosen Wife, This Time Forever, Valley of Broken Hearts, The Man from the Past, Roses and Regrets, For the Love of God, Sweetbriar Summit, Crystal Angel, Spitting Image, The Lancaster Man, Like Strangers, Arranged Marriage, Blue Mist of Morning, Fascination, In Honor's Shadow, I love her, The Last Honest Woman, A Man for Sylvia, Golden Glory, There Is a Horse, Tender Deception, Race the Tide. She's so adorable. Look, her like lipstick matches her shirt. Summer to Return, The Language of Love, Without a Trace, Loving Jack. Soldier of Fortune, The Sheriff Takes a Wife, The Scent of Lilacs, Sarah's Child, A Home for the Hunter, The Hearts of Yearning, Wagered Woman, The Real World, Skin Deep. This is a very iconic cover. It's very dramatic and I love her pink like pantsuit that has like a little bit of floral. Moonlight Magic and Horses, Thorn's Wife, Far to Go. We've got far to go still. All the Possibilities, Season of Enchantment, The Hostage Bride. I'm excited to read The Hostage Bride. Man of the Mountain, Circumstantial Evidence. I thought there was a horse, but there's not. For Eric's Sake, Champagne Girl. That's what I should have been like when I turned 30. I should have been a champagne girl, not whatever the fuck this is. Love Bug, which is also a Jonas Brothers song. Man of Velvet, Liar's Daughter, First Love, Last Love, No More Regrets, Dance to the Piper, Courage to Love. Do you have the courage to love? Intimate Circle, If There Be Love. I don't know because the title of this one is covered. Forever Spring, Sweet Second Love, Darling Enemy, If I Ever Loved You. Another in the series of this woman wants this man to get the fuck away from her forever. Fair and Wise, and The Second Time. I feel like I'm going a little bit insane. Devil's Bargain, which... beautiful, look at her, stunning. Sweet Jasmine, The perfect match for now. Forever. The Glorious Quest. The Glorious Quest is to get this man to shave his mustache. Best laid plans, an honourable man. Hard-hearted, sun lover. Look at her outfit. She's so cute. Now we've got this stack of the red silhouettes, which I feel like are holding up this stack of books. So we're gonna see how this goes. Nobody's Baby. Bittersweet Harvest. Can't read this one because they've written on it. But they've written who the characters are. So I'm very glad to know that Dutch and Danny are the characters of this book, including G-Day and Gabby. This is a polyromance about 4 people. The Tender Stranger, Princess and the Pea, Yesterday's Dream, No Wall Between Us, The Rawhide Man, Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, Rawhide, Second Harvest, with a hottie, Lady Ice, Enamored, The Challoner Bride, Meant to Be, A Much Needed Holiday. I kind of want to read a bunch of these like old like Christmas romances and just do some videos leading up to Christmas. Home at Last. Look at her. All the girls with red hair are so pretty. Hide and Seek. It doesn't even look like he's going to kiss her. It literally looks like he's going to take a bite in her cheek. Which maybe he is. A Prince of a Guy. No Holds Barred. Dream Come True. Reluctant Father. Texas Gold. Summer Song. Fire and Ice. Was this like a Baywatch like fan fiction that got published? I wonder if the guy's name is Harden. Was there a guy in Baywatch called Harry? I like this author's name. The author's name is Lass Small. Imagine if she's like really tall. So it's like Lass Small. No, Lass is tall. Tag. Blindman's Bluff, Montana's Treasures, and this is written by Justin Bieber's mother or grandmother or Justin Bieber himself. Sweet Bondage, Moon Madness, With All My Heart, Passion's Child, Goldilocks and the Bear, Courtship Texas Style, Wilderness Child, which we've got some more disrespect of the man of the month. Do you reckon I should ask for a refund? Do you reckon I probably can't ask for a refund now. I'm surrounded by old romance books that kind of smell. Anyway, Night Child, Added Delight, Man of the House, Blueprint for Rapture. I like her, she's cute. Love by Proxy, Blanket of Stars, In Every Stranger's Face, September Morning, Challenge the Fates, Fires of Memory. Look at her. Come on. Adam's Story, Return to Yesterday, Child of My Heart. This is one of my favorite covers because look at this lion. Like, why? One Tough Hombre, Horse, Falcon's Flight, For Love Alone, Rage of Passion, Destiny's Child. Do you reckon this is where they got the name for Destiny's Child? 1988. When did Destiny's Child form? Surely not in 1988. Anne Major could sue, you know. Lady Love, Used to Be Lovers, Rawhide and Lace, Look Horses, Past Forgetting, and oh my gosh, look at this babe. Look at her hair. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, look at her cheeks. That's all of the silhouette desires. Now we've got this mess that I made, which is the Loveswept, which there's a lot of Loveswept. Some of these are series, and so the series will be at the top. So this is the Delaney's of Killaroo series, and this is Adelaide the Enchantress. She kind of looks like my boss, so probably won't be reading that one. To First Be Friends, One Step from Paradise, Sultry Nights, which I think this one's written by like a couple, because it says Anne and Ed, but they could also be like brother and sister. Night and Day. So this is part of the Shamrock Trinity. So it's like 3 men. And they're the chicks they get with. I wanted it to be like 6 siblings. She's pretty though. There's always the consolation. The women are always pretty. So this is another series, which is the Once Upon a Time series. So these are retellings. Oh my god, there is a cat. Golden Threads. So I'm assuming it's a Rapunzel retelling. Tender Savage. That doesn't make sense. Starlight. I really like these ones with like the really bright colors. They're fun. They're quick. Diamond in the Rough. Man from Half Moon Bay. Then we've got another Delaney's of Killaroo, Matilda, the Adventuress. This one doesn't look like my boss, so that's good. Then we've got another Shamrock Trinity. York the Renegade. We've got another Once Upon a Time. This is Through the Looking Glass. Whispered Wishes. The Magic of the Moon. January in July. Misfortune's Man. Then we've got another Once Upon a Time. It is The Lady and the Lion. Is this a retelling of Narnia? Kiss Me Again, Sam. Do you reckon his name is Sam? It says here's Samuel. Doesn't count. Fantasy. This is another Once Upon a Time. It is The Glass Shoe. Simply Irresistible. Tucker Boon. I'm assuming that's his name. Man of the Night. Pepper's Way. Adam's Fall. In Serena's Web. She's very pretty. I wouldn't mind being in Serena's Web. The Enchanting Miss Annabelle. Riddles and Rhymes. Practice Makes Perfect. Mixed Signals. And we got another Shamrock Trinity. Rafe the Maverick. horses. Then we've got another Delaney's of Killaroo. This is Sydney the Temptress. Zach's Law, Dalian Man. Then this is a series called Swansea Place, The Legacy. Another Once Upon a Time, What Dreams May Come. San Antonio Rose, Man of Her Dreams. If There Be Dragons, I like this title. Flirting with Danger. The Fall of Lucas Kendrick. Always Amber. Sarah's Surprise. Sleepless Nights. Never Let Go. Caught by Surprise. Emerald Sunshine. From This Day Forward. I was like, what the fuck's that? It's like the doorknob. It was kind of interesting. She's wearing like a cape and it's called Legends. The Silver Fox and the Red Hot Dove. Honey and Smoke. This series is called Men of Ice, and this book's Black Frost. Temptuous, Knights in White Satin, Outlaw Derek's just... You may not know, but in a lot of like the older, especially like historical romances, writing about Indigenous characters was quite popular, but they are not good. But this is one, it's the Cherokee trilogy, Tempting the Wolf. Storming the Castle, Hold On Tight, Aces High, Just One Look, kind of looks like Lady Gaga. And this is another one of the Cherokee trilogy. This one's Cat's Tail. And here's another one from that series, Sundance and the Prince. Men of Ice, Frozen Idol, The Right Moves, Sensuous Perception, Long Time Coming, Rafferty's Wife. I hate all these ones where it's like this man's wife. Get out of here. Jinx. Oh my gosh, there's a squirrel. Chameleon. Kismet. Larger Than Life. That makes... Oh my god, there's a horse. I wonder what that one says. Not for sale. Am I gonna go to prison because I bought this? Unmasking Kelsey. And oh my gosh, her hair's so cute. Trouble in Triplicate. Serenity Cove. Ivan Takes a Wife. Is she just gonna be known as Ivan's wife? Allure. Inherited. To Love and to Cherish. At First Sight. Raven on the Wing. Captain's Paradise. Joker's Wild. And then we've got another Men of Ice. Quicksilver. A series called The Rainbow Chasers. And this is Heart of Gold. Then another Rainbow Chasers. Keeping Company. Another Rainbow Chasers, Riley's Return. Shades of Grey. Higher Than Eagle. Unforgettable. And look, there's a painting of a horse. Showdown at Lizard Rock. Kevin's Story. My dad's called Kevin, so I probably won't read this any Thursday. Then we have a series called The Dreamweavers, Sophisticated Lady, Intimate Details, The Last Brady. Is this just about a woman that dates and marries like a bunch of men called Brady and then they die? And Tara too. Another Dreamweavers, Bewitching Lady, Playing Hard to Get, Sharing Secrets, Desperate Measures, It Takes a Thief, The Dreamweavers, Gambling Lady, The Dreamweavers, Swashbuckling Lady. Then we've got these three, which are also Bantam books. So this is Circle of Love. I don't really know what this is. A Time of Happiness, Images of Love, and Soft Wind of Love. Oh my god, I'm trying to get books off me and then more just fall onto me. Is it just Mills and Boon? It doesn't really have anything to specify a sub-series or anything, so I just call these Mills and Boon romance. Love's Awakening, Devon's Desire, Roses All the Way, Another Time, Another Love, At Odds with Love, The Bachelor's Wedding, A Secret Infatuation, Summer's Vintage, Wedding Bells for Beatrice, Fate Takes a Hand, A Valentine for Daisy, Girl in a Million, Never Doubt My Love, Waiting for Deborah, The Awakened Heart, The Right Kind of Girl, Dearest Mary Jane, An Unforgettable Man, Best Man to Wed. Okay, I can see why this cover was covered. Is he just like pinching her nipple? Ending in Marriage, Dearest Love, A Kiss for Julie, Such Dark Magic. This author's name is Robin Donald. So when I think that, I just want McDonald's. An Indecent Proposal, Relentless Flame, Catch Me If You Can, Falling for Him, Because of the Baby. I'm assuming these are all a series. Brides for Brothers, Prince of Lies, Dance of Seduction, Thief of Hearts, A Taxing Affair, The Mirror Bride, A Loving Legacy, Dangerous Pretense, The Trusting Game, Mistaken for a Mistress, Meant to Marry, The Daughter of the Manor, The Marriage Risk, On Equal Terms, Trial in the Sun, Marrying Mary, Daddy's Little Helper. Alright, so this is the series. And I do want to not get these mixed up with other books because I have spent a lot of time putting all of the series together. I'm going to try and be a little bit more careful. 3 stories in one. Thorn's Way, Thorn's Wife, and Convenient Husband. Then we've got 4 books in the Code Red series. Next of Kin, Night Watch, Line of Fire, and Spontaneous Combustion. The Montana Brides. There's a lot of these. So this one has 3 books in one. We've got The Stolen Bride, The Pregnant Bride, and The Surprise Bride. Lone Stallion Stallion's Lady, Storming Whitehorn. This one has 2 stories. It's got The Marriage Bargain and Big Sky Lawman. The Winner Weds and Just Pretending. The Magnificent Seven and Outlaw Marriage. The Baby Quest and It Happened One Wedding Night. The Birth Mother and Rich, Rugged, Ruthless. He looks like he just did a really sneaky fart. His Wife in Name Only. Cheyenne Bride and You Belong to Me. Nighthawk's Child and The Marriage Maker. Oh, so that's it. Okay, so that's the Montana Brides. And then we've got this really long series, And Baby Makes 3. And then there's And Baby Makes 3, The Next Generation. The Unclaimed Baby and The Cowboy and His Wayward Bride. A Christmas Blessing. Natural Born Daddy. The Cowboy and His Baby. Dylan and the Baby Doctor and The Pint-Sized Secret. Marrying a Delacourt and The Delacourt Scandal. Suddenly Annie's Father and Wedding Bells and Mistletoe. The Cowboy and the New Year's Baby and Stand-In Mum. The Rancher and His Unexpected Daughter. The Cowgirl and the Unexpected Wedding. Natural Born Lawman. So sometimes these books that have like 2 books in them, they're not always part of the same series, or some of them aren't part of a series. So like this one has Natural Born Trouble, which is part of the series, but then it's also got Texan's Bride, which is not. And it's not part of any series. So that makes it really fun. Then we've got The Littlest Angel. And then we have the one and only book that has characters of colour on the cover. It's Second Chance Dad, and Angela Benson is a author of colour. And then the last book I have in that series is Unexpected Mummy. And then we also have Temporary Daddies. Then we have these editions, 3 books in one, which I think they're all part of a series. This one is The Loving Season, Angel versus McLean, and The Daddy Candidate. Why are there so many books with daddy in it? Lady Ice, One Tough Hombre, and Falcon's Flight. Some stuck little numbers on the cover. So cute. Love, Honor, Cherish, Kate's Vow, A Daring Vow, and A Vow to Love. Then we've got A Ranching Family, which I think I've got quite a few in this one. Cowboy's Kin. Cowboy's Caress is the book in here that's part of the series, but we've also got Millionaire's Instant Baby. Both of these are from the Ranching book. A Cowboy's Gift Wrapped Bride and Cowboy's Baby. What am I doing with my life? Baby Love, which is also part of A Ranching Family. And then we've just got The Only Cowboy in Caitlin. Baby My Baby, Cowboy's Kiss. And we've got Cowboy's Love, which is part of the series. And then this other book, which isn't, which is With His Wedding Ring. Cowboy's Lady, Cowboy's Ideal Wife. And then this other book has a title with a word that I will not be saying. Okay, so now we have Morgan's Mercenaries series, which there is a lot of these. Morgan's Marriage. And this looks like the guy from the Wiggles. Morgan's Rescue, Heart of the Hunter and Heart of the Jaguar. Morgan's Son, Morgan's Wife, Man of Passion, and A Man Alone. The Untamed Hunter. And then just a random book called Grey Wolf's Woman. Hunter's Woman and Hunter's Pride. The Heart Beneath, A Little Christmas Magic. Man with a Mission. We've also got A Love Beyond Words. And then we've randomly got this edition, which is very different from the others, Heart of Stone. So that's all of those. Then we have the Twins on the Doorstep series. So we've got The Bachelor's Blessed Event, The Ranching Bride, The Sheriff's Son, Penny Parker's Pregnant, the other random book, The Baby Due Date, The Tycoon's Tots. Then we're on to the Heart of Wyoming series, Urban Cowboy, and then another random book, Every Cowgirl's Dream, Wrangler, Buchanan's Bride, The Gal Who Took the West, Wyoming Wildcat. Then we've got 2 here that are part of a Nora Roberts series, Daring to Dream, Holding the Dream. Now I've got to deal with this mess. So this is the Whittaker Bride, the Black Sheep's Bride, The Rebel's Bride, Finally His Bride, but then of course we've also got another random book, which is A Father for Her Baby. Then we've got Cowboys of the Southwest, The Cougar. I'm surprised it's not The Cougar's Baby or some shit. And then we've also got A Hero's Homecoming. Stallion Tamer, which is part of the series, There Is a Horse. A Father's Vow, which is not part of the series. Wild Mustang Woman. And then we've got My Wife Most Wanted. Okay, this is the Cowboy Code. Here we've got The Brothers of Rock Ridge, Red Hawk's Return. And then at the bottom is the Cowboy Code, which is Lone Star Lawman. Then another Cowboy's Code is McQuaid's Justice, which... horse, and then Jackson's Woman, which is part of the Her Protector series. So now on this one, we've got another, the Cowboy Code, which is a cowboy's honor, and then we've got another one in the Brothers of Rock Ridge, which is Red Hawk's Heart. Why don't you just put them together? Why do you have to put them in separate? The Beginning Legacy. We have another Man of the Month, The Montana Man. Both of these only have one book in the series each. So this one has The Secret Daughter and For the Love of Sam, Baby of Mine, and Unexpected Family. Then we've got a bunch of books in the Desert Rogue series. These have words that I will not be saying, so we're just going to skip over those. But then there's 2 books within these that are not part of that series. We've got The Prince and the Pregnant Princess and Sullivan's Child. Then we've got Rumour Has It, which is Sophie Scandal, Lara's Lover, and Judging Justine. I have a friend called Justine. So many times I send her like this. So maybe from now on I'll just send her like a picture of this and be like, Judging Justine. And then we have Starting with a Kiss as well. Then we've got The Family Way, Cody's Fiance, A Man for Mum, A Match for Celia, and A Home for Adam. The Maitland Maternity series, which I'm so excited about. More books about babies. So there's lots of these. I don't really know anything about this series. Dad by Choice, Cassidy's Kids, Baby 101 and Adopt a Dad, The Toddler's Tale and A Dad at Last, Married to the Boss, Just for Christmas, Formula Father, $1 Billion Bride, Prescription Baby, The Detective's Dilemma, Her Best Friend's Baby, and Guarding Camille. So these are all part of the McLeod family series. A Sparkle in the Cowboy's Eyes, The Restless Virgin, The Rancher's Spitten Image, That McLeod Woman, and then also a random book, which is The Millionaire's Christmas Wish, which I would love to hear what a millionaire wants for Christmas. Then we've got The Bachelor Bet, Taming Tall Dark Brandon, we've got The Irresistible Mr. Sinclair, and then we've got The Most Eligible MD, Love Me True, which is the Man of the Month as well. Then we have the Hawk's Way series in different editions. Hey, it's another Man of the Month, Disobedient Bride. And then we've got this one, which is The Virgin Groom. This one has 3 books in it. It's got Hawksway Bachelors, it's got The Rancher and the Runaway Bride, The Cowboy and the Princess, and The Wrangler and the Rich Girl, The Temporary Groom, and The Substitute Groom. This one is Wilders of Wyatt Country, so The Price of Honor, A Child on the Way, The Daughter on His Doorstep, and The Last Wilder. And then 2 other random books, which is Father of the Year and Undercover Honeymoon. Then we've got this series by, oh my god! The guy that looks like Josh Hutcherson. So this is the McCade, Pride of Jared McCade, The Return of Rafe McCade, The Fall of Shane McCade, The Heart of Devon McCade. Then we've got the Silver Creek Country series. We've got The Lady and the Sheriff, The Lone Ranger, All It Takes Is Family. And then we've got 2 books in the Northern Light Brides. That was a tongue twister. It probably wasn't. I'm just losing my brain. Bride for Abel Green and A Bride for Crimson Falls. Then we've got 3 books in the Made in Montana series. We've got Montana Lovers, Montana Fever, and Montana Passion. Then we've got 2 books in the Heartbreakers series, Holly and Mistletoe and Husband by the Hour. Then we've got these books in Code of the West, Cowboys Don't Cry, Cowboy Pride, Cowboys Don't Quit, The Cowboy and the Kid, Cowboys Don't Stay. And we've got 2 books in the Cutler family. There's The Law and Ginny Marlowe, and then A Match for Morgan. And then we've also got Say Ah, and look at him. Why? Just why? And then we've got 3 books in the Mustang Montana series. We've got The Counterfeit Husband and Codename Cowboy. And then it finishes in this one, which is Rodeo Dad. And then we've also got Cattleman's Promise, which is part of Heartbreak Canyon. So we've got a bunch of series within these 3 books. We've got 1 book from the Brides of Bradley House, which is Dream Groom. And then we've got a book from the Men of the Double C Ranch, which is A Wedding for Maggie. And then another Brides of Bradley House, which is Dream Bride. And then just a random book, which is Marrying an Older Man. A book from Prescription Marriage, which is Dr. Devastating. And then we've got another one from Men of the Double C Ranch, which is The Rancher and the Redhead. Then we've got Stockwells of Texas. We've got His Unforgettable Fiancé, The Millionaire and the Mum, The Cattleman and the Virgin Heiress, Texas Royalty. And then the other 2 books in the Stockwells of Texas is The Tycoon's Instant Daughter. What even is that? What does that even mean? And then 7 Months and Counting. 2 books from Forever Family, A Family Kind of Guy and A Family Kind of Gal. Just the other books are Wife in the Mail and Warriors Woman. Okay, so then we've got The Barons of Texas. The books are just The Baron of Texas and then the chick's name. So again, they're not even trying. So it's Tess, Jill, and Kit. The other random book is The Way to a Rancher's Heart. Then there's 2 books in the Lassiters. One Bride Delivered and One Man to the Altar. Weddings Do Come True. Then we've got the Blaylocks, which is Blaylock's Bride. Rio, The Man of Destiny, and Typical Man. 3 books in the Calamity Janes. To Catch a Thief. This one's then just called the Calamity Janes. Like, she couldn't even be bothered. She's like, I'll just call this one after the series. And Wrangling the Redhead. The other random book is The Woman for Dusty Conrad. Then we've got these which all have like Fabulous Father on them. It's just like Man of the Month kind of thing. It's just like a little category thing. So I don't think these are like a series that go together. So we've got Merry Christmas Daddy. Do you reckon on Christmas morning I should just go up to Will and hold this up? Not say anything. Just be like... Father Betrayed. My Baby, Your Son. And Baby Makes 6. I actually like this cover. Like, look at him. Look at him being a dad and being happy about it. He kind of looks like he hates his life though, I won't lie. Daddy by Decision. Twice a Father. Most Eligible Dad. So this is part of Fabulous Fathers, but then this is also part of the Best Men series, which these 2 are as well, but these 2 are not part of the Fabulous Fathers. So they're either not fathers or they're shit fathers. So Cowboy at the Wedding and A Groom and a Promise. Then we've got here Baby Times 3, not to be mixed up with And Baby Makes 3, Maybe My Baby and Her Baby Secret. And the other 2 books are Midnight, Moonlight and Miracles and Suddenly Family. Then we've got the Circle K Sisters. So we've got Never Let You Go, The Borrowed Groom, Cherish the Boss, Least Likely to Wed, Sano Bound Sweetheart. And then we've got 2 books in the Delancey Bros series, Second to None and Firstborn Son. Triple Trouble. I've got 2 copies of this book. Girl of His Dream. And I love that both are covered. The Secret Wife and The Mysterious Stranger. Don't want to put my cap back on. Then we've got 2 books in The Kings of Australia, The Bridal Bargain and The Arranged Marriage. Then we've got 3 books in The Sons and Lovers. We've got Ridge the Avenger, The Untamed, and Lucas the Loner. So these 2 are part of the big event. There's meant to be 3, but I've only got 2, which is such a travesty. So we've got Marriage Makeup, Beresford's Bride, and then we've got The Barons, More Than a Mistress, and Marriage on the Edge. Then we've got 2 books for the Spring Bride series, Suddenly Marriage and The Guardian's Bride. 3 books in this trilogy, so I've got all of them. It's nice when I've got the full collection. So this is the Fairy Tale Wedding series, Temporary Husband, Accidental Wife, and Shotgun Marriage. Then we've got the Single Daddy Club, got Nanny in the Nick of Time, Beauty and the Bachelor Dad, which this child is more realistic. He is not happy. Look at him with his bat. He's like, how dare you make out in front of me? I'm making it sound like I think children are like monsters. And then Miss Maxwell Becomes a Mom. It looks like I've got the full set of this trilogy as well. So we've got The Prince's Bride, The Prince's Baby, and The Irresistible Prince, and this is all part of the Royal Weddings. Daughters of Texas, Instant Mummy and The Groom, I presume, 3 Weddings and a Gift, Michael's Baby, Abby and the Cowboy, and Seducing Hunter. The Texas Brotherhood, Chance's Joy, A Child for Cade, and Travis Comes Home. A Place Called Home, we've got Lost and Found Groom and At the Heart's Command and Hidden in a Heartbeat. The other random book is Stranger in a Small Town. Okay, so these ones kind of mix together again. So this one's okay. So this one is 2 books in the 3 Babies for 3 Brothers. So we've got His Woman, His Child, and Having His Baby. The last book is His Secret Child. And then we've also got a book from the Secrets series, which is called Black Hawk Sweet Revenge. Now, actually, this series, there's an exclamation mark at the end of Secrets, so I should say it enthusiastically. So I will redo that. It is part of the Secrets series. No, it's probably more like Secrets. Secret Baby Santos and Killian's Passion. Then we've got a bunch of books in the Fortune's Children series. Through them quickly. We've got The Groom's Revenge, The Secretary and the Millionaire, A Fortune's Children Wedding. Is that even grammatically correct? A Fortune's Children Wedding. Society Bride. Oh my gosh, I've got 2 copies of this. Husband Hunters, so it's Contract Baby, The Vengeful Husband, and Married to a Mistress. From Bud to Blossom, so It Could Happen to You, and The Night, the Waitress, and the Toddler. And then the other random book is He's Got His Daddy's Eyes. There's a horse. I don't really know why this series is called this, but it's called Follow That Baby, as if like a baby's running away. The Millionaire and the Pregnant Pauper, The Sheriff and the Imposter Bride. Any of these like sheriff, policeman ones, got no interest in those. The Mercenary and the New Mom, The Rancher and the Amnesiac Bride. The other 2 random books is Accidental Hero, and then this one is The Bodyguard's Bride. There's just too many books, too many books. Too many books, too many books. Okay, now we're on to the Montana Mavericks, which there's a lot of these. So this one has 2 in it. It's The Kincaid Bride and Christmas in Whitehorn, Rogue Stallion and the Widow and the Rodeo Man, Sleeping with the Enemy, The Once and Future Wife, The Rancher Takes a Wife, The Outlaw Lovers, Father Found and Baby Wanted, Way of the Wolf and The Law is No Lady. And then the last one I have is Montana Lawman, and then the other random book is An American Princess. We've got 2 books in this series, The Brew Baker Brides, Miss Prim's Untamable Cowboy and His Brother's Intended Bride, and Horsies. Then we got 2 books in The Wilds of Wyoming. This is another one where it's just like the series title and then one word. So this one's Chance and Hazard. The Stanford Sisters. We've got Bachelor Mom. The 200% Wife, which is also part of That Special Woman, because I guess we want to highlight women who are good wives as being like the standard of what a good woman should be. Brave Paladin, Man of Secrets, and The Cowboys in the Cradle. And this is part of the Tall Chiefs series. Okay, so this is the Conveniently Yours series. The Millionaire She Married, The MD She Had to Marry, Make Believe Bride, Better for Baby, The Marriage Agreement and The Bravo Billionaire, The 9-Month Marriage, The Child She'd Do Anything to Protect, Practically Married. So those are the last 3 in that series, and then the other random books are Stay, ... Ominous, Child Most Wanted, and A Daddy for Devon. We're nearing the end of the series, and by that I mean we've got one more full stack. Outlaw Hearts, which we've got The Outlaw's Wife, The Outlaw Jesse James, Marriage Outlaw Style. And then we've also got The Rule Breakers, which is The Lone Rider Takes a Bride and 30 Day Fiancé. Let's go, let's keep going. The Enchanted Brides, Her Mistletoe Husband, Married by Mistake, and To Marry a Stranger. Bachelor Gulch, Burke's Christmas Surprise, Nick's Long Awaited Honeymoon, Luke's Would-Be Bride, Wyatt's Most Wanted Wife. This cover has been decimated. Clayton's Maid Over Mrs. Wes Stryker's Wrangled Wife. Also horse. 2 horses. Then I've got all 6 of these. The Hearts of Texas, Lonesome Cowboy, Texas Two-Step, Carolyn's Child, Dr. Texas, Nell's Cowboy, and Lone Star Baby. Then we've got some books in The Fortunes of Texas, but some of these are like a reunion, so like spin-off series. So this one is The Heiress and the Sheriff. And then we've got Her Good Fortune and A Tycoon in Texas. These are all ones under that like Bundles of Joy category. So I don't know if this again is a category or a series or what, but whatever. Daddy Woke Up Married, The Baby Came COD, She Gave Birth to a Baby Playing COD, Adam's Vow, The Man Who Would Be Daddy, Baby Business, The Rancher and the Baby. Okay, so this series is fun, and I'm really sad that I didn't have the full set. Apparently Janet Daly, who also I found out on live stream, plagiarized Nora Roberts. She attempted a series where she wanted to write a romance in every state of America, and she did apparently. The Home Place, Night of the Coalition, Dangerous Masquerade, After the Storm, Land of Enchantment, and Boss Man from Ogallala. Anyway, I like this cover. This is The Baby Bet, Single with Twins, Party of 3, To a McAllister Born, and The Baby Bet, His Secret Son. We've got these in Family Man, which I don't know if this is like a sub-series or a series or a category or whatever. Daddy's Home and The Only Child. This is The Barons, which I feel like we already went through a series called The Barons. Didn't we? Did we? Slade's Baron's Bride. Actually, let me see the plot. Taming of Tyler Kincaid. And then we've got Mediterranean Man, Constantine's Revenge, The Expectant Bride. So we've got 2 books in the Blackwell Brothers. There's The Marriage Basket and The Marriage Promise. At the bottom here we've got a book from Callahan's and Kin, which is Falling for an Older Man. Didn't we already get this? was it like loving an older man or marrying an older man? Is that even a title? Or is that just a description? And then we've got Her Wildest Wedding Dreams, and there's a horse. This is in a series called Passion, Hot-Blooded Groom, The Arabian Mistress. So then we've got these, which I don't know if these are the same series. So this one's 9 to 5 with numbers, and then this one's 9 to 5 with like it written out. So I don't know if these are the same series. We've got Assignment Baby and The Boss's Secret Mistress. Then we've got 2 books in the Texas Brand series. We've got that mysterious Texas Brand man, the baddest bride in Texas. I think I need to do a poop. I mean, this is giving me the shits. Prescription Marriage, which I feel like I've already seen. Was it Prescription Marriage, or was it Prescription Baby, or Prescription Bride, or Prescription Daddy? Their Little Princess and Dr. Mom and the Millionaire. Okay, I put these 2 together because I don't know if they go together. Bachelor Cousins and Bachelor Sisters. So I thought maybe they're spin-offs. To Marry Mackenzie and To Make a Marriage. And then we've got Secret Passions. We've got A Secret Revenge and The Secret Love Child. Here Comes the Brides. Millionaire Takes a Bride. The Bridal Quest. Expected Bride to Be. And then the other book is just 8 months old. I don't know why it has ... at the end. And then we've got 2 books in the Mine to Keep 43 Light Street series, Never Alone and Lassiter's Law. Then we've got The Lone Star Canyon, The Rancher Next Door, and Unexpectedly Expecting. Then we've got Stalk Express, Baby of Convenience, and The Not So Secret Baby. The Hawk Brothers, Skylar Hawk, Lone Brave, Jesse Hawk, Brave Father. The Wind Raven Legacy, Something to Talk About, and When I See Your Face. Then we've got 2 books in Kane's Crossing. We've got The Pregnant Bride and There Goes the Bride. And this one actually has a bookmark in it. And it's like, For a Wonderful Mother and Father. Do you reckon the father was reading this book too? I do wonder, like, is this what she was reading when she passed away? And then the other 2 books are His Arch Enemy's Daughter, and then this one, Wedding of the Century. Then we've got The McKenna Legacy, we've got Mysterious Stranger and Cowboy Protector, Captive Hearts, Father, Lover, Bodyguard, The Safe Hostage, Cafferties, I don't know. Oh, this is another one where it's just the series name and then a name. So it's The McCafferty's Matt and The McCafferty Slade. And then we've got Double Wedding, which is the Paternity Question and Who Will She Wed? Texas Cattlemen's Club, Billionaire Bridegroom, and Secret Agent Dad. The Coltons has 3 stories in this collection. Okay, it's the next day. Let's not talk about it. Let's just get back into the books. These here are the ones that I did want. So these were mainly what I was looking for. So let's jump right back in. So these ones here are generally late 60s to mid 80s. They're in better condition than I am. Wife in Exchange, Ring in a Cup, The Edge of Winter, Frost and the Fire, Roses for Christmas, The Hasty Marriage. So I really do believe that Betty Neels is going to come through as the author with the most books. The Lion of Humira, The Little Dragon. But I like this cover. It's got a cute jacket. It. I just called that woman It. Okay, I've just worked a nearly 8-hour shift, alright? I'm tired. Scorpions Dance, Along the Ribbon Wood Track, Leaf in the Storm, Bay of Stars, Uncertain Summer, Accidental Bride, Ring of Heaven, One More River to Cross, Return of Dragon Shield, The Son of Summer, Never While the Grass Grows, very pretty cover, I do like this one, Corporation Boss, The Gold of Noon, Saturday's Child, Rent a Wife, Grasp a Nettle, Cruise to a Wedding, A Man to Tame, A Ring of Fortune, Heart of Stone, Full Circle, No Orchids by Request. She's cute too, look at her. All she needs to do is do like, what a queen. Winter of Change, The Lake of the Kingfisher, The Tender Leaves, but this has a big X through it, so I don't know if that was that person saying this book isn't good. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be. Connolly's Castle, The Lark in the Meadow. How did I manage to muck that up? Blow hot, blow cold. It looks like he's eating her chin. Now or Never. A Man Called Cameron. No offense, Cameron, but she wants absolutely nothing to do with you. Oh, this one also has a cross on it, so this one must be dog shit too, through all the years. The Impossible Boss. Flutter of White Wings, and this actually features my favorite lady. Look at her. I'm in love with her. Bachelor Territory, Caroline's Waterloo, A Streak of Gold, The Loving Trap, Prescription for Love, A Man Without Mercy, The Realms of Gold. I like this cover too. I just love these old covers. This is what I wanted. This shit, Baby Business. No. Dangerous to Know. Man Without a Heart. Do we think this is a unique concept or something? I feel like most men don't have a heart. I'm joking. Mason's Ridge, Difficult Decision. My partner was laughing and he's really cute when he laughs, so I had to stop and listen because Cute. Fear of Love, The Spanish Uncle, Whisper of Darkness, Ring of Fire, and she's iconic, look at her. Caroline, Miranda's Marriage, Gone Before Morning, Jonty in Love. I'm sorry, Jonty, but I don't think she's in love with you back. Firebird, Cow High Country, The Tender Leaves, The Swallows of San Fedora, Sweet Harvest, Only Lover, A Land Called Desert, Engaged to Jared Stone, Possession. I like this one. I like striking red. Dark Master, Miss High and Mighty, Always a Rainbow, Double Rainbow all the way across the sky. Call Back Yesterday, Night Music, The Smoke and the Fire, The Blue Caribbean, Dark Avenger, Dangerous Tide, The Silver Falcon, Flamingo Park featuring another woman who wants nothing to do with the man, and you know, kudos to her, she's not even pretending. Lion of Venice, The Devil Drives, The Willing Heart. This is weird. What is he doing? Shadow of the Past, Under Moon Glow, Marriage in Mexico, A Very Special Man, Dragon's Lair, Green Mountain Man, Red Diamond, Savage Surrender, featuring a gorgeous girly, The Spanish Inheritance. I kind of like this one because you can barely see the people, and the two chicks are like holding each other's arms, so maybe they're the actual romance in this book. Is this sapphic? No, it doesn't look like it. Kiss of a Tyrant. Her hair also looks like it's eating her. Storm Center, Season of Shadows, New Man at Cedar Hills, Autumn Conquest, Images of Love, Dear Pluto Craft. Two things to note about this. We do have horses. This was the oldest book that I noticed, and this one is 1973. Bound for Marandu, Obsession, The Heart of the Eagle, Return to Silver Creek, Timber Boss, Yesterday's Scars. She's like studying him like, you fascinate me because you are so disgusting. How is it humanly possible? Storm Center. Didn't we already get this? Yeah. So there's a double up. Breakers on the Beach, Rooted in Dishonor. I'm not gonna lie, this woman's a little bit terrifying. The First Officer, Apollo's Seed, Desire Has No Mercy, Image of Love, Summer Mahogany, For Love of a Pagan, Bride of Zarko, Love in a Stranger's Arms, Solitaire, The Viking Stranger, Sensation, Barefoot Pride, The Challenge, Tinsel Star. That's a cute title, and she's cute. Tangled Shadow, The Broken Link, Man's World, Windward Crest, Love in a Stranger's Arms. Didn't I just read that? Am I going insane? Castles in Spain, coming next spring. The Challenge. We definitely, yeah, it's right there. We definitely had two of these. Castles of the Fountain, Sweet Torment. She's got pigtails, cute. The Awakening of Alice, Autumn Twilight. So this is the dark side of marriage, and look at her. She's so pretty. I like her like eyeshadow that matches her beret and her like jacket. She's so pretty. Dangerous Pretense. I did pick up on these as double ups at the time because this weird cover where it's like a woman watching these two people on the couch hook up. Okay, now we got these, which there's not many of these left because most of these were series. Her Protector, Deborah's Son, Ready Set Baby, sounds riveting. The Proposal Daughter. Oh, no, The Prodigal Daughter. The Courting Campaign, Wildest Dreams. Just another book that Taylor Swift plagiarized. I'm joking, please don't come with me. Temporary Texan. I like her cute little haircut. 2 Week Wife, Marriage on the Rebound, The Revenge Affair, Cowboy to the Altar. Kids Included. Yay. Surrender to Seduction. The Boss and the Baby. The Determined Virgin, Fugitive Bride, The Hired Husband, Outback Husband, Kissing Carla, The Fake Fiancé, The Price of a Bride, Having Leo's Child, Wedding Days, Marry Me, Wanting His Child, The Reluctant Fiancé, The Marriage War, The Last Minute Bridegroom, The Miracle Wife. Why are these all just marriage books? Island of the Dawn. I really like this cover. An Apple from Eve, Passage to Paxos, Perhaps Love, A Mountain for Luenda, Return to Yesterday, Egyptian Honeymoon, Dangerous, Substitute Bride, Promise to Pay, Dark Remembrance, Morning Rose. Why is there just that man there looking? How dare you two be happy and enjoy a nice breakfast together. Devil in Disguise. This cover's kind of dramatic, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for it. So she kind of looks like young Madonna. Young Madonna was so cute. Tropical Night, No Alternative, The Magic of His Kiss, Shadowed Reunion, Season of Forgetfulness, The Other Brother. I'm not gonna lie, this one looks kind of fun. Passionate Stranger, The Interloper, Forbidden Flame, Beloved Stranger, Conflict of Love, That California Summer, Gold to Remember, The Winds of Heaven, Living Together. Why is there just another creepy man in the middle? Do you reckon they're all the same man? Tomorrow Began Yesterday, Illusion, Voyage of the Mistral, Heidelberg Wedding, Come Love Me, Heaven Round the Corner, Devil's Goal, Heartless Love, and I like her, she looks kind of modern. An Unbroken Marriage, Year's Happy Ending, A Girl to Love, Dishonest Woman, Enter My Jungle. I never want to say that sentence ever again in my life. An Old Passion, Not Once But Twice. This cover's kind of ominous. The Guarded Heart. This is a cute cover. This feels very retro. I like it. Tethered Liberty. Never Too Late. When May Follows. Bitter Homecoming. A Lamp for Jonathan. A Taste of Paradise. Emerald Cove. The Storms of Spring. Daughter of the Misty Gorges. Full Circle. A Palace Called Rambura. Never Too Late. House of Mirrors. Never Count Tomorrow. She's seen some shit. No Yesterdays. Autumn in April. Once for All Time, Iceberg, On the Edge of Love, Bachelor's Wife, Echo of Betrayal, Untouched Wife, Dangerous Male, Dream of Midsummer, Flashpoint, Coral Gay. Oh my god, there's still so many. Innocent Obsession, Bride for a Captain, she's so done with his shit. Fated Affair, Echo in the Valley, No Other Man, Divine Right, Chains of Gold, Not Far Enough, Megan's Folly, Phantom Marriage, Dark Enigma, Moment of Madness, No Man of Her Own, Temple of Fire, Strangers into Lovers, The Lion of La Roche, 24 Red Roses, The Judas Kiss, Judah, Where Two Ways Meet, Remember Me My Love, Gallant Agnostic, The Sleeping Fire, Love is Eternal, All Our Tomorrows, Morning Rose, Blind Man's Bluff, Witching Hour, The Slender Thread, The Silver Flame. I do like this cover. Temporary Marriage, I think we've seen that. House of Memories, and Abduction featuring the same drawing. So this person plagiarized themselves. Man of Teak, Land of Tomorrow, Love's Jewel, Law of the Jungle, Way of a Man, Dueling Fire, Devil Lover, The Golden Spaniard, Wildfire Encounter, Temporary Marriage. So do I have 3 copies of this? Reluctant Paragon, Legally Bound, Invisible Wife, Play Our Song Again, The Red Sarong, Heartbreaker, look at her hair, Forbidden Flame, we've seen this. I remember that earring. Castle of the Lion, Blackmail, sounds very romantic, Turbulent Covenant, Diamond Cut Diamond, Untouched Wife, we've had this. Handmaid to Midas, Gilded Cage, A Girl Bewitched, Dakota Dreamin', Devil Within. We've got some very devil-esque titles here. Are these some angry women writing these books? Probably. Long Cold Winter, The Icicle Heart. I do like her. I kind of like him too. He's like feminine looking. You can't really see, but he's got like nice eyelashes. Lions Walk Alone, Marriage Without Love, Capture a Stranger, Roses and Champagne, A Season for Change, Innocent Obsession, Island of the Dawn. We've had this, but I think I knew that I had 2 of this one. Copper Lake, Ryan's Return, Untamed Witch. I like this one though. This one's a vibe. The Silken Cage, Don't Call It Love, Love's Tangled Web, Imperfect Chaperone, Dark Summer Dawn, Too Hot to Handle, Dishonest Woman, Bed of Roses. I love how done she is with him. I don't know why they pick some of these. Like, how is this romantic at all? Wait for the Storm, Wildfire Encounter, Blue Days at Sea. So Anne Wheel is a author of colour, and she is considered the first Harlequin author of colour. And this is one of the books that she has noted as having written as people of colour in her head. So while they were not described as people of colour, and I imagine she probably wasn't allowed to or was discouraged to, in her head she did write these as people of colour. So this is kind of one of the first, I guess, like Harlequin, Mills and Boon books that did have characters of colour. So I'm very excited to have found this. And the last one of these editions is Not Far Enough, which I feel like we've seen this. We've now got another big stack here. Okay, let's keep going. I think these are like 90s, early 2000s. Well, this one's 1982, so maybe not. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know, I just see these ones a lot. This is also the type that she has the most books in. Point of No Return, No Time for Love. I was about to say I feel like I've seen this already, but I have just started doing these editions, so no, I have not. Calm Down, Hostage to Dishonor, Forbidden Surrender, Golden Fever, Castle of Sand, A Temporary Affair, This Side of Heaven, Burning Obsession, Red Rose for Love, Make Believe Marriage, The Caged Tiger, Late Harvest, Impetuous Masquerade featuring a cutie, Semi-Detached Marriage. What are we doing? Stay Till Morning, Second Best Wife, Spring Fever. I kind of like this cover. It's kind of daggy. Diamond Stud, Horse, perfect partner. Counterfeit bride, passionate intruder, bought with his name. Sorry, I have to go back to this. Passionate intruder, as opposed to like aggressive intruder, nasty intruder. Like, it's an intruder. An intruder is an intruder. Like, if there was some intruder in my house, like, I don't care if they're passionate about it. I don't want them intruding into my house. Man for my love, man from the Kimberleys, a step backwards, innocent abroad, hidden love featuring iconic hair, escape from desire. This is me sitting next to them. I'm on my knees and they're still taller than me. Oh no. Please don't fall. Deadly Angel, Hunter's Moon, Stranger from the Past, Fated Attraction, Kind of Magic, Betrayal, The Devil's Advocate, Clouded Rapture, Flawed Marriage, Love's Only Deception, An Elusive Desire, Heaven Here on Earth, Captive Loving. I know that I just pulled that title out. Or maybe I had them together because I had noticed that they were double up. Saving Grace, An Unlikely Romance, Desires Captive, Candle Glow. I don't know, she's a vibe. I fuck with her. Closest Place to Heaven, Fantasy Girl, Intimate Enemies, Jilted, Night of Possession, Walk Upon the Wind, Pagan Adversary, Forbidden Wine, The Demetrius Line, Serpent in Paradise. I'm done with sitting up on my knees. Romantic Encounter, Florida Fever, Passionate Protection, Terra Boreas Gold, The Sex War. Oh my. Green Lighting, featuring iconic hair, Haunted, Subtle Revenge, Love's Greatest Gamble, A Secret Intimacy, A Happy Meeting, The Gates of Rangatatao, Man Hater. She looks like she's pretty done with men. Forgotten Passion, Trust in Summer Madness, The Gates of Rangatatao. Wonder if that's a double up. Ecstasy, Failed Marriage. She's cute. Lifelong Affair. She's also cute. Fighting Lady. Everlasting Love. Passionate Pursuit. A Durable Fire. Promise to Keep. The Inheritance. Horse. Imprudence Challenge. Spanish Serenade. Response. A Woman in Love. Dark Awakening. The Odds Against. Coming Home. A Love Lost. A Naked Flame. A Past Revenge. Love Games. What You Made Me... feel like there needs to be another word at the end of that. Total Surrender. Rage to Possess. Ew. Tempestuous Affair. Out of Wedlock. Bluebeard's Bride, Passionate Lover, Dragon Man, The Road, Act of Possession, A No-Risk Affair, Alien Vengeance, Birds, Impasse, Manhunt, You Owe Me, also she's iconic, Lost Enchantment, Innocent Prawn, The Devil's Price, Love in the Valley, The Hard Man, her face says it all, Escape Me Never. We're now up to this last stack of this edition. Darkness into Light, The Counterfeit Secretary, Dangerous Moonlight, An Unbreakable Bond, No Longer a Dream, Captives of the Past, Capable of Feeling. I'm glad that you're capable of feeling. Long Journey Back, A Man Possessed, Sweet Poison, The Final Price, A Willing Surrender, The Lonely Season, This One Night, Bride of Diaz, After the Loving, Tangled Hearts, Challenge, A Lingering Melody, A Late Loving, Painful Loving, Witch's Harvest, Losing Battle. Also, this reminds me of Will and I. This is like the vibe that Will and I have. A Gentle Awakening, Payment in Love, Mistaken Wedding, One Chance at Love. What's a child looking at? To Love Again, Out of the Storm, Always Love, Villain of the Peace, The Falcon's Mistress, No Gentle Loving, Potential Danger, The Quiet Professor, The Loving Gift, A Different Dream, No Need to Say Goodbye, Tug of Love. I guess a pet had a tug at this and chewed out a bunch. This is oddly satisfying. Sweet Captivity. Oh dear God. An Old-Fashioned Girl. Man of the High Plains. Horse. Jesus. The Fateful Bargain, Love's Reward, Ever Since Eden, Friday's Child, A Law Unto Himself, That Special Touch, McNamara's Bride, Horse, Riddle of River Moon, A Matter of Will, The Love Conspiracy, The Chain of Destiny, Rash Contract, Wish on the Moon, With No Reservations, Valentine's Night, A Love Affair, which she does not look like she is wanting to partake in, A Bitter Homecoming, A Kiss is Still a Kiss, Gentle Deception, Fire Island, Bitter Betrayal, Hilltop Tryst, featuring puppies, Pattern of Deceit, An Arabian Courtship, Runaway Wife, The Convenient Wife, One More Secret, The Tiger's Lair, The Darker Side of Paradise, Roses Have Thorns, The Wrong Kind of Man, A Suitable Match, The Stephanos Marriage, An Inconvenient Marriage, we've had that, right? Or was it The Convenient Marriage and then The Runaway Marriage? Oh my God, help, help. A Little Moonlight, Payment Due, The Devil's Kiss, The Most Marvelous Summer, Island Interlude, The Dark Side of Desire, Barrier of Love, A Rekindled Passion. Okay, we've got through the biggest stack. These ones are Harlequins, Borrowed Plumes, Man with a Mission, Scent of the Mercuse, The Painted Palace, Reckless Longing, Journey into Love, Afraid to Love, The Road Boss, Copper's Girl, The Bright Side of Dark, Sweeter Than Wine, Stormy Reunion, Inland Paradise, Island Fiesta, Brief Enchantment, Hell is My Heaven, Bride for Sale, Reek Bridal, The Black Invader. Some of these titles I'm just like, why? Well, that had a horse on it. When Winter Has Gone, The Grand Hotel, The Man from Tikoka, Summer Haze. We are almost done. So we've got Scrooge and the Single Girl and Family Practice, Surprise Delivery and My Child, Our Child, The Baby Legacy and Who's That Baby? God, there is no universe where I would have been like, yes, I want the book called Who's That Baby? Was that even what it was called? Yes. Fuck my life. Royal Protocol and The Cupcake Queen. Just a Small Town Girl and His Little Girl's Laughter. Horse. Ryan's Place and Mackenzie's Bedside Manners. Patrick's Destiny and Alaskan Night. I thought that was a dog, but it's a backpack. Big sad. The Marrying McAllister and His Baby's Brother. No, his brother's baby. Midnight Cravings and His Pretend Wife, The Marriage Medallion and 4 Days, 5 Nights, Having the Bachelor's Baby and the Cowboy Way, Playing by the Rules and Reforming Cole, and Then There Were Three and In Her Husband's Image, Her Texas Ranger and A Forever Family, featuring quite a few horses, Summerhawk and Daddy by Surprise, featuring a horse, Soulmates and Surprise Partners. This one has a title that I'm not going to read out, so we're just going to skip that book. Race to the Altar and Magic in a Jelly Jar, The Reluctant Princess and the Unexpected Wedding Guest, Marry Me Again and Quinn's Woman, Daniel's Desire and Prince and Future ... Dad ? The Trouble with Josh and Expecting the CEO's Baby. This has a bookmark. Completely Smitten and A Father's Fortune, Read Down the Aisle and Their Baby Miracle, The Reluctant Princess and the Unexpected Wedding Guest. Oh, there's a book on here which I'm not going to read the title out. Bride Wore Blue Jeans and A Winchester Homecoming, The Fertility Factor and Annie and the Confirmed Bachelor, and The Accidental Princess and Family Merger, Outback with the Boss, Forever Wife and Mother, Rico's Secret Child, Parent Test and Mother Makes Three. So Newborn Daddy, fuck my life. Callie's Cowboy, In a Cowboy's Arms, A Day Late and a Bride Short, The Consultant's Secret Son, The Very Special Marriage, Bush Doctor's Rescue. I don't know why, but I remember I showed this cover to Will and I was like, hey, what do you think of this book? And he was just like, he just went to town on this shit. He was like going on about how shit it was. What did this man ever do to you? The Doctor's Secret Son, Coming Back for His Bride, The Pregnant GP, Full-Time Needed Father. Didn't even read that out right, but it's fine. A Night to Hold On To, The Pregnant Registrar, Cowboy PI and His Child, Return of the Lawman and Would-Be Wife, Behind the Veil and In His Wife's Name, His Only Son and Landry's Law, The Littlest Witness and Secret Admirer, and Baby Makes Six, Third Wise Man, The Perfect Man, More Than a Cowboy and the Second Sister, Sarah's Baby, Galahad and The Way to Yesterday, Smooth Talking Texan and Lovers and Other Strangers, The Highway Husband, A Man for Maggie Moore and Night Pleasures, The Donovan Legacy, and this is Enchanted, which I would be interested in getting these and reading them. Logan's Legacy, Undercover Passion and Royal Seduction, The Last Mile Home. This is Candlelight Ecstasy Romance, which I don't really know what that is. This one's Sweet Ember, Essie Summers Collection, The Morning Star, Luck of the Draw, Horse, 2 Weeks to Remember and Yesterday's Mirror, Three Brides No Grooms, Off with the Old Love, Imelda. This is, I don't know, this is really random. The Nanny, which this looks like a horror, and Mother Collection, Rich as Sin, Snowfire and Tidewater Seduction, Little Itty Bitty Nora Roberts, Impulse, Making Babies. Nora, come on, you're better than this. The Best Mistake, Baby Machine, dear God, and Cullen's Child, Fortunes, Children, Christmas, The Rancher, The Tycoon, and The Tracker. Also, whenever I see these birds, I don't know what they're called, but whenever I see them, I just think of the bird in The Owl House, and I just want to cry. This one's Celebrating 25 Years of Romance, a special selection from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, reprinted for your pleasure. Storm Over Mandagi, The Unpredictable Man, and Night to the Rescue. Then we've got another one of these duet collections, which is The Only One and Sweet Vixen. This collection of 4 Margaret Way books. So we've got A Lesson in Love, Blaze of Silk, Flight into Yesterday, and Temple of Fire. The last of these special collections is Christmas Delivery. His special delivery, Mixing Business with Baby. Expecting at Christmas. We're on to the last stack. And these are the sexy romances. Finish off on a sexy note. Was that sexy? A Yuletide Seduction, Bartaldi's Bride, The Sicilian's Mistress, Mistress by Arrangement, Terms of Engagement, One Intimate Night, The Seduction Scheme, Bachelor's Boss, The Demetrius Virgin, Marriage at a Price, A Sicilian Seduction, Claiming His Wife, The Sweetest Revenge. Oh, this one that the cover's just like gone. Apparently it's by Marriage Divided. Desert Affair, The Italian's Bride, The Doctor's Secret Child, Heiress Bride, Marco's Convenient Wife, The Contaxis Baby, Mistress to a Bachelor, Keeping Luke's Secret, Alejandro's Revenge, The Spanish Inheritance, The Billionaire Bridegroom, The Italian Marriage, His Convenient Mistress, Bought by the Billionaire, His Forbidden Bride, The Spaniard's Bed, The Unconventional Bride, Mistress for a Month, The Italian's Love Child, The Passion Bargain, Claiming His Love Child by Royal Command, A Passionate Revenge, Lucas Secretary Bride, Mistress to Her Husband. Does that even make sense? The Forbidden Mistress, The Sicilian's Bought Bride, His Marriage Ultimatum, The Greek Tycoon's Convenient Mistress. Like, what the fuck are we doing? The Italian's Mistress, The Italian's Pregnancy Proposal. Why are we doing Texas Millionaire and Cinderella's Tycoon, Just My Joe and Cowboys, Babies and Shotgun Vows, Heart's Baby and Let's Have a Baby, Star-Crossed Lovers and Seduction Cowboy Style. This is the last stack. In His Loving Arms, Husband for Keeps, Dr. Irresistible, A Marriage Made in Joeville, Tough to Tame and The Determined Groom, also Horse, Zane, the Wild One and Taming Black Hawk, Sins of Atana and Principles and Pleasures, Marriage Ties, which is 4 brand new titles. Another Chance for Daddy, oh my fucking god. Wedding Bells, Bachelor Cowboy, Resolution, Marriage. We're done. Okay, and I will put here the total amount of books after I have counted them all. I've lost the plot. Thank you for hanging out with me while I went through these books. Someone send help. Like, look how many books there are. I kind of want to jump on them. I won't do that. I'm mature. What am I doing? Why are there so many? But yeah, before I go, I just want to say thank you to my amazing Patreons. I appreciate all of the support. And until next time, everybody, stay safe and I'll catch you in the next one.